Tech Voodoo here. Today I'm gonna go ahead and do an install video, not just like not a walkthrough like I've done on my previous videos where I've already had parts installed and I just kind of explain how I did it. This time I'll have a camera set up and we'll go underway. But we are going to go ahead and install a upper shock mount brace. Now from factory, this is braced, so you've got this piece of material here and it's welded onto the frame here, but there's nothing underneath. It's open. Now I've seen photos, I've watched videos on the YXZ where this will actually separate from the unit. Now they do have a gusset piece back here, so you see how it's bent over and then they gusset it here and weld in. But a lot of people are breaking these welds clean off. It just comes right off. The whole unit is sitting up here with the shocks and the rest of the machine sitting on the ground. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and purchased a kit from a gentleman on the YXZ Addicts Facebook page. He makes these, and I love supporting small companies. Absolutely love it. My Honda Pioneer's got CFAB A-arms and stuff like that. It's a small, one guy shop. That's what this guy right here is. And I went ahead and purchased this from him. Now this kit relocates the shocks, puts better geometry on the front end so you don't have that front dive when you're coming into corners. When you hit jumps, the front end smacks down quite a bit, which causes the rear end to kick up. It kind of takes care of that problem a little bit. All in all, it helps the machine out. Personally, the angle of the shocks on the machine isn't the greatest, so this right here puts it in a better ratio. But this is a bolt-in kit, 100% bolt-in, so it's going to go in your factory bolts here, but it also has a gusset that goes underneath the frame here and bolts to the underside of the frame. So here's the gusset kit. So it's going to sit underneath there like so. And that's going to put more strength here. Instead of just relying on the welds, it's going to actually bolt to the frame. There are kits out there that just bolt in. I highly recommend not going that route. Or if you already have one, I recommend welding some tabs on or welding this to the bar itself and putting a fish plate or gusset on the bottom of this that stretches from frame side to frame side to help stiffen this front end up. Anywho, we're gonna go ahead and get started on this. So I'll set the camera somewhere to record and we'll start taking these shock bolts off and everything. All right, so before we get started here, I said there's gonna be a brace that sits here and there'll be a brace that sits on the back side. The back side brace is gonna have a tongue on it that rests against this frame mount here. It's going to have 3 bolts. Those 3 bolts are going to go in these holes here. But anyway, it's going to bolt here, 3 bolts here, and then it's going to have a clamp system that goes underneath the frame. So this is going to be the front of the machine. This is going to be the back of the machine. So at the front of the machine, you'll have your 3 holes, and then you'll have the bracket here that goes underneath the frame with the 3 holes. Those 3 bolts there go there, and then you're going to have these 3 smaller bolts which go on the gusset for the factory shocks. Those 3 bolts are going to go right here. Then you're going to have the back side of the bracket, which is going to go on the back side of the machine behind the factory shock mount. You got these 2 bolts here. And then you've got this bolt with a shim because obviously there's not going to be a shock there anymore, so you don't want to crush this. So you put that shim in there, and those are going to go right here through those holes where the factory location for your shocks were. And then of course you've got your standard bolt here that's going to bolt in your shock. So you have the shocks on both sides, front bracket, back bracket, center bracket. After everything's all said and done, tighten down. They come with locking nuts, nylon locking nuts on every single one of them. So you shouldn't have any problems of them backing out either. All right, so this is the guy that I've got this brace from, Logan Pilkington. I butcher names all the time, but anyway, he's on YXZ Addicts. Look him up. This is what the kit looks like after it's been installed. I want to make sure that the bracing on the bottom is nice and straight. Even torque through all these. I said, just don't go Hulk on this stuff. It doesn't need to be Hulk tight. It just needs to be tight. All right. So, personal experience. After you get these three right here started, go ahead and get these set in, and then tighten these two down, and see if these bolts will pull out. If they do pull out, I'd go ahead and pull these out so you can tighten these up a little easier. This one and this one back here, because I had to use a wrench to tighten them, obviously, because there's no room for a socket to get in between there. But here's the front of the bracing here. Grab my camera, my flashlight. So you can see it's got a nice contour. It curves around the cage, and the back, oh, the back is just beautiful. So the back, see how it curves around the cage, or around the chassis. And then you got this plate here on the back. Let's see if I can put the camera in a better position. All right. So you've got this plate right here at the back, and it actually goes under this main frame piece. So this is a very stout unit. It is 100% bolt-on, as you saw. And it's a gorgeous unit, absolutely beautiful. I highly recommend running something like this. Gets rid of this weakness right here at the welds, and you can't lie, that just looks amazing. Absolutely beautiful. Logan, thumbs up. Amazing craftsmanship. This thing fit perfectly. I didn't have to shim anything or grind any parts, nothing. Logan, thumbs up. Amazing product. I highly recommend. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. I said look Logan up on Facebook. Get yourself a set of these. He's also working on a set of brackets for the rear as well to relocate them to put a better suspension geometry on as well. So I'll keep you in touch when he does. I'll go ahead and make an install video on that as well. But like I said, thumbs up if you liked it. If you want to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we will see you guys later.